Yo, what's going on, guys? It's boy Otaku, having coming at you with another manga chapter review. Today I'll be reviewing Black Clover chapter 31, and we finally got some news on this bad guy that we haven't known the name of for like 8 chapters. But this chapter starts off with Asta being recognized by the leader of the Crimson Lion, and he's like, "Now's not the time to sit around licking my wounds. I have to get up and go now. I have to prove myself. This is it. This is my chance. I've got at least 12 rounds of fighting left in me." And then the Crimson Lion, as he starts rushing towards the bad guy, the Crimson Lion just chops him in the back of the neck, stopping him in his place. And he said, "You need to pay attention to your body, boy. Just your toughness might be your mark, but just because you have toughness, don't mean you need to pay attention to your body. Stay calm, or otherwise, you'll never make it as a Sorcerer Emperor. That's something you have to do if you plan on being the Sorcerer Emperor." So then they move on to the fight. The fight goes on between the leader of the Crimson Lion, and he then asked Radess, the guy, what his name was and what he was planning on doing. He goes, "Well, my name is Radess, and I was the best in the Magic games, like the top Magic recruit 6 years ago, and I was forced out because they said my power was too dangerous, and I was a commoner, so nobody stood up for me. Even though he had more power than anybody in the recruits at the time, sort of just like Juno did, but since he was a commoner, nobody stuck up for him, and he was forced out because his magic was too dangerous, which is kind of wrong by the kingdom. So I could see why that he might want to take revenge, because that's what he stated his whole goal was, is to take revenge. But I don't know about killing innocent civilians as a way. Maybe he should have went straight for the Magic Knights. But then again, he might not have been able to hurt any of the Magic Knights. So this is the way he can guarantee he can get revenge, by killing innocent people, and that's a logical process for a bad guy, at least. Very common in anime and manga to follow this basically to follow that line of progression. And then we move forward, and we got to see some of his powers. The Crimson Lion leader did his Leo form Zenith, and it basically summoned like a big old Crimson Lion to attack him. And then after that, the Radis guy was just laughing. He's like, "How do you like my impregnable defense? You can't get past it." Um, at one point, Carl was killed, and when I brought him back, he was even more powerful. And he's always been um, a master of defense already. So then the Crimson Lion, or Luck chimes in for a second. He goes, "You need any help?" And then the Crimson Leader was like, "No, I'm about to get this." And he uses his next move, Ignis Magnus or something like that, or something along those lines. But it's like a raining of fireballs towards his impregnable defense. And after he does that, the dude's just sitting there laughing again, like normal. And then all of a sudden, he does a line of it's like a fire beam right towards the Carl one and pierces him through the heart. It looks sort of like Kizaru's attacks if you've ever seen One Piece. Um, just like a straight beam of fire. And then he's like super shocked. He turns around and tells the kids, Luck, Noel, and Asta, "See, you can get through anybody's defense as long as you have patience to wait for the right time and have the heart to act when it comes." Because basically, as a magic knight, you're gonna fight tough magic people, like people who have tough magic every single day, and you have to be able to do this. So he used that opportunity to teach, and he's pretty much defeated right now. So we're gonna call it defeated in this match. So the plot progression we had in this match was the well, scratch that back. There was about 3 or 4 more pages I haven't talked about yet. And those 3 or 4 more pages, we had the Crimson Lion leader talking to Radis, saying, "Just because what you're doing right now is revenge, just because you have a whole lot of magic power, that don't mean people are going to accept it. People will never accept violence. You have to use that power to do something good for people to accept it." And his power was already dangerous, and now he's using it for bad, and of course nobody's going to accept that. All right, those are those 3 or 4 pages. That's what happened there. So basically, he was just one attack from being defeated. So we're gonna go ahead and call him defeated in this chapter, or at least I am. Unless something pops back up, I mean, it would be pretty awesome to see him, get like a second wind or something against the Crimson Lion leader. Because if he was a top recruit, then he obviously has a significant amount of power. And there was one thing I did want to talk about. Back when the Crimson Lion leader first used his Leo form Zenith, that's his first attack with the lion thing. He told everybody to step back. He can't control his power. Now I'm not sure if that it was because he was really pissed and he couldn't control his power, or maybe it was that he is just that powerful that he can be a leader without controlling his power. And the whole time, Asta was just in the back. So this is what it takes to be a Crimson leader. Awesome. Like he was getting really happy, excited when he sees something new and cool, sort of like Natsu does. Like this this anime reminds me, or this manga, sorry, reminds me a lot of Fairy Tail. And basically, we got a little bit of plot progression with, since we're calling him defeated, or I'm calling him defeated. I'm saying we got plot progression with the defeat of Radess, and we got character progression with the Crimson Lion leader, with Asta finally being noticed, and that's much. We didn't get a whole lot of this chapter, and it just did feel like a passing fight to me. Like nothing that bared too much of a significance, more or less something to show the Asta, Luck, and Noel how to fight, basically, against people of a higher magic caliber, like just certain tips and stuff. So I don't really think it was like too heavy of a fight like I thought it was going to be a couple chapters ago. But anyhow, I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10 because we didn't get a whole lot, but I still did kind of enjoy it. And so it's going to have a good rating. Peace.